look like. Join us as we look through real eyes and realize the many faces of I'm Summer, and these are my two sisters. We're in Los Angeles where we live together, work together, and play together. We had a pretty typical childhood growing up in Texas, but in 1988, our world was shattered. Our mom was shot and killed in our home by her second husband, our stepfather.
I'd gotten a call from my ex-sister-in-law, and I don't know if I knew where Linda was, that she didn't show up for work. And I told her I didn't know, but she had talked about looking for another place to live, and maybe she just took off. But again, it wasn't like Linda to not call and say she wasn't coming to work. So I got off the phone with her, and I called the house, and the detective answered. And he told me what had happened, that there had been a murder. I mean, my knees buckled, and I fell to the floor. And I'm sitting there thinking, how do you break this to those kids? I mean, how can you soften this up? And there wasn't. There's no way to soften that. And I remember they came in, and again, I'd been crying my eyes out, and I just got them in a hug, and I was holding all of them, and they kept saying, what? And you're trying to say that word, and you just cannot get that word out. Your mother's been murdered. It just would not come out. Because if I said it, it made it real. If I didn't say it, I could say, no, it's just not real. But it was real, and it just took forever. And then once I said it, they all just exploded. I don't know what it's like to lose a mother at a young age, but it was very tough. And they were raised basically by 4 different families. And I'm sitting here thinking, God, they even know what a happy family is all about. I mean,
I just felt like it would be better just not to be here. So I just went and grabbed the bottle of Vicodin or whatever it was and just took the whole bottle and went and locked myself in the bathroom. I hated my life.
Through the healing journey, we each discovered that we wanted to face the killer of our mom in prison.
I'd like to look him in the eye and ask him why he did it, and let him know, see how he's affected us. I recently actually wrote a letter to him to ask if we could get on his visitation list so that we can see him face to face for the first time.
This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I've had nightmares about it.
Today we're doing a long drive down to Huntsville, which is near Houston. That's where the Texas State Penitentiary is.
I think hearing from his mouth what he was thinking, why he did it, what he's thinking now, I think it's just a necessary part for us to be able to move forward.
Today's about justice and fighting for my mom.
Sitting across from him for 5 hours was the most intense experience we ever had, but it was also the most healing.
I don't know, I feel at peace and satisfied that we went through with it and we did it, and we made him look us in the eye, and we got to look him in the eye. To know that he doesn't feel remorseful. He never apologized.
He never did apologize. He never said he was sorry, which I wasn't really expecting.
I think the hardest part for today was realizing that he isn't there, and just, I guess I really felt him blaming my mom, and so I guess that was the hardest part.
It helped me to take back my life and move on to my next chapter.
Our meeting with him inspired us to create Linda's Voice.
Our mom was working on her voice and expressing her voice by saying she wanted to leave her husband, and her voice was killed.
Linda's Voice was started to help victims know that they're not alone. We've created a virtual community to inspire, educate, and empower women in domestic abuse situations. We found that through helping others, we're actually healing ourselves. If you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, go to lindasvoice.org to find resources. Know that you're not alone. Together we can bleep out domestic abuse.